Now, let's touch again on pedestrians. You mentioned earlier that's always a big concern for you guys, but not necessarily in and around the cities, but also on long stretches and rural areas, pedestrians, animals. How can people sort of be more aware on those sort of dangers?
Well, there are two sides to it. First of all, there shouldn't be any pedestrians by law on the national road or next to a national road walking. But socioeconomic circumstances leave people with no other option but to be walking next to those roads. And that's when it happens. That's when you have those really gruesome accidents, because a person walking next to the road being knocked over is not like an accident here in town or in a city or CBD type accident. It is something quite different. It's quite terrific. A vehicle hitting you at 60 kilometers per hour, you're going to probably tumble and fall next to the side or go over the vehicle. But if a vehicle traveling at 120 kilometers per hour knocks into a human body, the human body isn't really designed to withstand that sort of impact. So if a vehicle does hit a human being, let's say torso height, that body kind of just splits. The human body just sort of falls apart.
Not a great mental
It's not
image.
a good picture, and you have to understand that people saying, yeah, if I knock someone, I'm going to knock someone. If it happens, it happens, but you can avoid it. And if it does happen, it's the kind of picture that's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. It's quite horrific, and it's not something I would advise anyone to go and have a look at. It's the kind of thing you really want to avoid completely. Not only will that person be dead, but you are going to be stuck with that image for the rest of your life. And it will haunt you until the day you die. It is that sort of gruesome. You haven't seen the human body just fall apart until you actually see it. And it's not something I would. No.
That's a good deterrent, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Robert, what if drivers are taking all the right precautions and, again, we live in a place like South Africa, which has sort of some unique challenges. I mean, if you've got all the right breakdown equipment and your car breaks down, but then you get mugged and or hijacked on the side of the road, you're driving defensively and safely, but a taxi is overloaded, the tire burst, comes hurtling towards you like what happened this weekend. You know what I mean? What if you're doing all the right things, but it's still the...
At least then you can say you tried your best.
Yeah, the people. I mean, do you have any advice to give around?
Yeah, just drive defensively. Keep good following distances. Leave yourself enough space to escape if you need to, if there is an incident as such. If you see a vehicle driving recklessly or carelessly or speeding, whatever, just avoid that vehicle. Don't try and overtake it. Just get away from it. Try and rather lean back and let that vehicle, because he's going to be wanting to go fast the whole time, so let him go fast. Rather you slack down and get away from the possible threat to your safety. So yeah, just avoid that sort of thing completely, and don't stop next to the highway. Kind of look for an off-ramp or on-ramp. Or
what if you can't though? What if you break down in an area that's just not safe? I mean, what is your best advice then?
That's where journey planning comes into play. Okay. If you plan it properly and you know where you're going to be at what times, you kind of know what to expect. So if you're going to a dangerous area, you want to be prepared for that. So that's why I said journey planning is very important. Knowing
and
where you're going to be at what time.
Services like the AA or your sort of,
They are good, but can you only imagine how busy they're going to be over the festive?
No.
So you can't rely on them completely. They are obviously, since the roads are going to be that filled up, everyone's going to be calling them. So you can't rely on them completely, not entirely.